Hello and welcome to The Roar. My name is Daniel Starks. I'll be your host for today, and with me is my lovely co-host, Caitlin Barbie.
And on this segment of The Roar, we are going to be discussing what is happening all the way from Hollywood to commerce. First off, we have some hot topics trending this morning. First off, is Tim Tebow going to become a Ram?
That would be very interesting to find out.
Sam Bradford injured his knee on Sunday.
Really?
Taking him out for, I don't know how long, but they're talking about, maybe it's been talked about behind the scenes, that Tim Tebow may be coming in as backup to their backup, Terry Clemens, who isn't very reliable. Tebow was cut from the Patriots earlier this year.
Right.
And it was said that he's really just kind of an injury away from getting back on the team. And it might be right. It might prove to be correct. He might maybe taking Sam Bradford's spot. I don't know.
Well, to be totally honest, I'm not a big, Tim Tebow follower or anything like that.
I think it's fake, so I really don't like him.
Why?
There's something about the spout, I embrace everyone, and I'm really whatever, it's okay, but I think the way that if you have to spout it so much, then I don't believe everything that's coming out of your mouth, and that's how I feel about him.
Especially when he went through. I mean, I think it was a good thing that he had that whole, Tebowing down at the end zone and things like that. But I think it may have started off as a gesture of, his face,
yes,
things like that. But I think after a while it got media.
Yeah, he used it as something for him.
It was publicized.
Yeah,
it was propaganda type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I'm not a big fan.
Sticking with the subject of football, this weekend we had the Lions played here in town. The A&M Commerce Lions played, and they took on McMurray, and it was an absolutely phenomenal game. But the thing is that we broke a couple records while we were playing the game. The first quarter, we had the most points on the board in the first quarter in A&M Commerce history. We had 63 or 68 points on the board, not us, but just total, both teams, on the board in the first quarter alone. The excitement was absolutely just phenomenal there at the stadium, and I was up in the press box, and even just in the press box, the feeling was just fantastic. And then also, later on in the game, we had another record broken by Derek Davis, maybe? I can't remember who it was, but it was the passing yardage, and he tied the record for that record. So, needless to say, the Lions are definitely getting their name out there, public-wise. The media booth to my right up in the press box is getting a lot, more full as the season progresses, because we've got a lot more press coming in. We've got a lot more people coming in wanting to cover this team. So I'm really looking forward to see how the season keeps going on with that.
So the Lions are doing great, and the Rams may be a little bit in trouble.
May be in trouble.
On to TV, another Yahoo trend this morning was Jonathan Rhys Meyers as Dracula. Did you know they're bringing back a Dracula TV show, modernizing it?
Okay. I'm getting sick and tired of seeing vampires on TV. I'm getting sick and tired of
I think they've been on enough. I think we have enough going on. They may do something different. They're adding actual characters in from Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Right. We've got Van Helsing.
Yeah, Van Helsing, but he's not an enemy.
He's a friend.
And they have Nina and Jonathan Harker, and
it's kind of
it could be interesting.
It's kind of along the lines of what Once Upon a Time has been doing. They're modernizing Dracula.
It reminds me a lot of after what they're doing in Sleepy Hollow. They're bringing that tale back into the modern world and kind of giving it a different spin too. So, but he's actually not the villain.
Yeah, they're trying to make him a hero.
Technically, he's still kind of a villain. He's kind of still an anti-hero, but they've created a bigger villain so that he's not the main one, because he's still Dracula, guys.
We're seeing a lot of that in television nowadays, and we have been for the past.
It's a trend.
It's a trend. So we started off with bringing superheroes back in. We saw shows like The Green Arrow, Smallville with Superman. We saw a whole bunch of different things like that. Batman movies came back. Spider-Man movies came back. We had all of those Marvel characters come into movies.
And now we have the Marvel, the Agents of Shield.
The Agents of Shield, and now we're getting the fairy tales and things like that. We've got Once Upon a Time. We've got Once Upon a Time in Wonderland.
Yeah, that's weird.
And it is weird.
It's weird to me. There's a CW show that focuses on that kind of thing too, and it's weird to me. I think I feel like this is coming a little late on the vampire trend, because I feel like that's been around for a few years with True Blood and Vampire Diaries and other things of that ilk.
But then with the fairy tales, and you also got your old story time things, like not old story time, because when you're kids you wouldn't want to hear Dracula as you're going to sleep. But but your old stories like Dracula and things like that are now coming into television. So things like that. So the next segment is something that a lot of people are talking about here on campus. We've got the road construction that is happening all over campus. That, in all honesty, I'm kind of on the fence of, because yes, it's taken forever. We've gone from pavement back to rocks, and it's really bad across campus. And but playing the devil's advocate here, it's gonna have to be bad before it can get better.
Yeah, and it's not technically on everybody's route. You're not hitting it unless you're specifically going to specific places. So if you don't have classes on the back side of campus, you can find a way around it, or you don't have to deal with it at all.
Exactly. Like here in Commerce, Monroe Street, right there in front of Binion and Education Drive, it's blocked off. It's only one way.
But if you know which way to go, it's not that bad.
There's road closed, things, tractors everywhere. You see here on this, we've even got sidewalks being put in place. So it's just, we've got a lot of different things happening here on Monroe Street and all across campus. But like you said, you have to find a different route. It may take some extra time, but it's going to be tougher to get to class. Put in some extra time in your morning routine to get to class on time in order to make these extra routes.
So we know how we feel. So let's go and check in with how the students are feeling about it.
Since it started, we were unable to effectively get to class. They didn't do a very good job of informing everybody when each street would be closed.
The worst thing about it is when you want to go to McDonald's, after you leave the spot like everybody does, you have to go all the way around.
A lot. I actually have to drive farther, to get around those construction sites to actually get to class or to just food places wherever I'm going.
Well, anyway, so you heard, how those students have been, responding to the different construction across campus.
I drive through it every day, because I have to go to Binion and KTR, so I drive through it every day, so it's really kind of just normal for me. I basically don't even notice that I know it's coming.
Right, but see, you're also from Paris, so you also have to put in you have to allot more time.
Yeah, but I have time built in anyway, just because
Right.
I'm late to everything.
She is late for everything.
It's very true.
Yeah, but you know what? We're all late to different things. We've got things that keep on happening. Like for me, I also have to go to KETR a lot, but I also have a lot of classes that I have to go to, and it's my schedule for the day is just crazy.
Yeah.
I've got this, I've got
You're
that.
busy. You have things going on. You need to be able to get places fast.
Exactly. With all this construction, it is definitely hampering, me getting places on time. But like I said, it's gonna have to get bad before it can get worse.
Exactly.
And I've seen the master plan for this. There's going to be a lot of roads happening across that are going to be fixed all across town that are going to look fantastic. I used to live on a road called Harlow Road. Well, it was off of Harlow, but it was absolutely just awful. It was rated the worst road in town. That they took about 6 months, completely dug it up, put in sewage drain, all that stuff, and now it looks absolutely gorgeous. And you can see, if you go online, there's pictures of it somewhere. So it's absolutely fantastic. There's going to be construction that's going to keep happening all over town, but you're just going to have to get used to it and, hope that it ends up quickly. So
what is coming up on our next segment, Daniel?
Coming up next, we are going to have Samantha from the Student Veterans Association to discuss what they're doing around campus. Stick with us here on The Roar.